Arash Aramesh is a Middle East analyst at Stanford Law School. He joins us now live once again from Washington, D.C. Arash, thanks for being with us once again. So there's a lot awaiting the new president as far as his entree is concerned. Let's start on the economic front this time, if we can. How does the new president turn around Iran's economy, given that so much of it depends on Iran's international relations?
A large portion of Iran's economic ills are due to its foreign policy decisions that Iran has made in the past few years that have brought upon itself large international sanctions and have isolated Iran. In addition to that, we should never underestimate gross mismanagement and just gross incompetence that overshadowed Iran's economy in the past 8 years. So sanctions were part of it, and mismanagement and poor planning. We'll see. Mr. Rouhani's proposed economic team seemed to be a group of technocrats very close to former President Hashemi Rafsanjani, who can be seen now on your screen sitting to the left of Mr. Rouhani. Another thing that's very interesting to notice is that Mr. Rouhani has so far, in his inaugural speech or his acceptance speech so far, has talked about moderation and staying away from radicalism and staying away from extremism. And that is perhaps a reference to the policies of the past 8 years under President Ahmadinejad. Even more importantly, he is probably trying to sort of get a pre-clearance from the supreme leader that in order to address the ills and address the problems of the Iranian economy, first and foremost, he will probably need a little more freedom to operate in the foreign policy realm of the country and be able to address those concerns. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see, but again, as I said before, Rouhani is not a Swiss liberal Democrat. He's very much from within the system. He's very much from within the regime, and that may be his winning card and winning out, that he's trusted by the supreme leader. Right. He may be given a little more room to operate.
We talked earlier about this wave of optimism that swept Iran following his election victory. Is he going to be able to live up to that? We talked about his ambition to end Iran's economic and diplomatic isolation from the rest of the world. But internally, the electorate, the people who voted him into power, want something very different from him, don't they?
A couple of things to keep in mind. First and foremost, Mr. Rouhani, yes, he won a majority. He won a majority of the votes, but he only won 51, 52%. It was not like Khatami in 1997 winning over 70%. So he came in, he won the election in the first round, but he does not have that sort of a clear popular mandate as Mr. Khatami did in 97. That's the first thing. Second thing, the office of the presidency in Iran, the office of the president, as it's defined in the Iranian constitution and it's defined in the Iranian laws, it is not exactly the most powerful position in the country. He is going to have to deal with this force that is the office of the supreme leader and the very person of the supreme leader. So there's a lot of optimism in Iran. There's a lot of optimism, especially amongst those who voted for Hassan Rouhani. That's 51, 52% of the people who voted for Hassan Rouhani. However, how much is he going to be able to deliver? It's sort of it's unclear. A, how reformist his plans are going to be, and B, how much he can actually deliver. We have to wait and see. But it seems that he is trying very hard, at least in his rhetoric, to say that his policies are going to steer the country away from extremism and more towards moderation.
All right. Arash, good to talk to you as always. Arash Aramesh there live in Washington. That confirmation ceremony has been underway now for, what, a good hour.